Avalanches are a real threat in the mountains, claiming hundreds of lives each year. During ski season, the Avalanche rescue dogs are called out at least once a week to help locate people engulfed by the White Dragon, that fearsome, deadly creature born of snow. One winter, Bruce Brink, a mountain paramedic and veteran member of the ski patrol, risked his own dog's life for the safety of others.
Very gnarly situation, in the middle of the night, raging snowstorm. The area we were in was continuously avalanching. Dangerous place to be in.
A large avalanche had hit a popular hiking trail above the city of Vancouver, burying 5 hikers in its path. One of the survivors described a 6-foot wall of snow barreling down on him through the trees. He said there was no time to panic.
Code Alpha, all patrollers respond.
Rescue crews in the area sprung into action. 60 searchers and 3 Avalanche dog teams, including Bruce and Ziggy, rushed to the site. They scoured the mountains searching for signs of life.
We'd already dug out a survivor, in fact, was being hauled out of the area by stretcher.
The search and rescue team feared another victim was buried underneath the snow. They had 2 options: set up a probe line of searchers or send in Ziggy, a highly trained Avalanche rescue dog.
We opted to use the dog. Well, exposed the dog for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. The dog cleared the area, convinced us completely that there was nobody buried in that particular area.
Ziggy! What Bruce didn't know is that he pulled Ziggy out of the danger zone just in time.
Within 5 minutes, size 2.5 slide came through the area, annihilated the search area.
It was a sobering moment for the searchers on the front lines.
If the probers had in fact been there, without a doubt, there would have been probably 100% fatality in the probe line. So right off the bat, collaterally speaking, my dog saved 5 or 6 lives.
Ziggy saved all of their lives. The close call on the mountain convinced Bruce that Ziggy is a vital part of the search team and his best line of defense in an avalanche.
He's a pet some of the time, he's a working partner a lot of the time. But the relationship that I find most interesting is that he can sense what I feel, and I think I can sense what he feels. But if I get a call, if my pager goes off and it's a real avalanche, or the radio goes off and it's a real rescue, then I'm stressed a little naturally, any human is. And this is instantly, without any gesture or sound, conveyed to my dog. If I'm upset, the dog is instantly upset. If I'm happy, the dog's instantly happy.
Ziggy is a 9-year-old German Shepherd. About half the dogs working avalanche areas around the world are German Shepherds. The rest are labs, retrievers, or border collies.
So if we can get the dog to the buried subject really quickly, the dog will indicate where the person is faster than any other method we have, including transceivers. So the trick is to get the dog there quick. The dog will do his or her job fast, indicate where the person is, and then there's a potential for a life saved.
The results are astounding. A well-trained avalanche rescue dog can search an area 8 times faster than 20 people searching on foot. Ziggy is a Czechoslovakian dog named after a local avalanche forecaster who helped develop the ski area. So what does it take to be an avalanche rescue dog? To become a member of this elite team of canine athletes dedicated to saving lives?
Intelligence, agility, tenacity, stubbornness maybe, in the sense that they don't give up. Reasonable sense of smell, which I think most dogs have anyway. But first and foremost, they have to be people dogs.
Nice.
To become a member of one of these elite teams, men and women volunteer their time to train the top dogs and risk their lives to save others.
I think most of the people in the Avalanche Dog Program and in the rescue organization are not watchers, but they're doers, and they get a great kick out of doing. And to see something or even to hear of something going on you couldn't interface with and do something about, it's excruciating not to get involved in that sort of thing. If you have the capability and the talent to do it, at the end of the day, I think that's what motivates us all. We're just keen to do.
Ziggy and Bruce are a team. It's a partnership built upon trust and training. It's Ziggy's job to locate buried victims as quickly as possible. It's Bruce's job to treat the injured and help get them to safety.
Okay, close fracture. Have you allergies to any medication?
Coming up,
Attention all ski
the
patrol.
calls just keep coming. This time it's a code 3, a life-threatening call for help. A man is experiencing shortness of breath in the lodge.
Oh boy, let's get into the ground. It's a code 3.
I don't feel a pulse.
Bruce and Ziggy have only minutes to save this man's life.
Okay, clear.
Then, after a day of skiing, a young man never returns home. Family and friends fear the worst. Bruce and Ziggy are on standby for a rescue.
We got 2 patrollers and a dog team heading that way.
That story and more when we return. It's a mountain emergency. This time, a skier is missing. He hasn't been seen nor heard from in hours. Bruce and Ziggy are on standby for a rescue.
There's a 25-year-old man missing overnight. I guess last seen sometime last night, and we're sure he's up in the mountains. This morning we've got 2 helicopters launched to do an aerial reconnaissance to see if there's any sign of him.
Bruce loads up his pack with extra clothing, food, night gear, and meds in case they get stuck overnight on the mountain.
If he's cold and wet, we want to get him out as soon as we can because hypothermia is certainly an issue.
First, rescuers target the backcountry areas where people often get lost, and they try and pinpoint the skier's route before he went missing. Within minutes, rescuers like Bruce need to know, was he an experienced skier? What runs did he prefer? Could he have taken an alternate route?
It's a big search area, truly is a needle in the haystack. Without any point last seen, it's really difficult to establish a prime search area. What we do, though, is quite a lot of detective work.
While rescue crews search from the sky, Bruce tends to injuries on the mountain. If there's any sign of the missing skier, Bruce and Ziggy will be called in to help.
10-8 with a code 1 on the Wizard.
At times, the mountain seems like an emergency room in a hospital, with Bruce racing from one injury to the next.
The gentleman's fractured his wrist. He's in a lot of pain, so that's our objective is try to alleviate some of his pain.
Go for dispatch.
Oh boy, we've had some bad luck, I see.
No difficulties with the anesthetic?
No.
Okay.
Bruce starts an IV to give some relief.
Hey Brian, would you get out a 3x3 for me, please?
Let's give him 100 mics of fentanyl and 10 of morphine.
He continually checks the man's condition.
Do you have any hint that your breathing is at all wheezy, that you're having trouble breathing? Any nausea?
Bruce knows from years of experience as a paramedic, things can get dicey very quickly.
We have paramedics, we have emergency physicians, first responders, and all of the gear we could ever possibly need.
Bruce says the standard of care on the mountain can be as good as a metropolitan hospital. If you're injured in a ski area in the United States, you get a toboggan ride to the clinic below. But here in Canada, doctors like Sean Crickmore ski to you and treat the injuries right in the snowbank.
90% of what we see on the mountain is trauma related.
The worst case scenario is an avalanche.
In an avalanche, people die for 2 reasons. Half of them asphyxiate and they're without trauma. The other half die of traumatic injury. So practically speaking, you only have a few minutes to get to somebody and get them out and get them breathing if they're buried.
That's why avalanche dogs are so valuable. Half of all avalanche victims will die within 30 minutes. Response time is critical.
Ziggy down.
On a run like this, Ziggy would typically stay in his kennel to avoid injury. Bruce needs him rested and healthy for the most important call of all.
Code Alpha, all patrollers respond.
Alpha is for avalanche, and all rescuers know that call means grab your dog and head for the helicopters. Within minutes, Bruce has relieved the pain in this man's fractured wrist, and the patient is ready for a toboggan ride to the clinic below. Time for Bruce to head to the next emergency.
I'm with Patrick Harlan. He's 17 years old and is having an
Patrick.
asthma attack.
Is it painful to breathe?
Yes, sir.
Bruce checks the young man's breathing and gets him some oxygen right away. Through a series of questions, he learns the boy also has a history of epilepsy.
Alpha dispatch from Glacier Creek.
The calls just keep coming. This time it's a code 3, a life-threatening call for help.
Attention all ski patrol. Have a report.
A man is experiencing shortness of breath in the lodge. Bruce races down the hill. It could be a heart attack.
Dispatch, Bruce.
I'm really not feeling good.
Go ahead, Bruce.
I'm 10-7 with the chest pain patient in the rendezvous, and you can start all the gear. Looks like an AMI.
Just sweating.
Oh, Oh boy, let's get him to the ground.
So you're calling this code 3?
The dispatcher alerts all available crews on the mountain and sends portable gear including oxygen, a cardiac monitor, and a defibrillator. All the advanced life support equipment Bruce needs to treat a heart attack.
I don't feel a pulse.
The patient takes a turn for the worse.
Dispatch Bruce, this is now cardiac arrest. Okay, start CPR.
Every second counts. Fortunately for this man, Bruce is an experienced paramedic.
Wait till everybody's clear. Everybody clear. Okay, 3, 2, 1, shock. Okay, there is a pulse.
The patient's heart is beating again. Bruce escorts him to the mountain clinic for further testing.
This fellow's fortunate to have been resuscitated at all in a mountain setting. That's actually a pretty lucky thing that everything was there quick and we were able to get him stabilized in the field. Hey, Whistler Clinic, it's Bruce calling. We're heading your way with approximately a 55-year-old male. I guess we're about 5 minutes away.
Before the day is through, Bruce checks the status of the skier reported missing last night. He hasn't been seen for hours. His disappearance is a top priority for the ski patrol.
Hey there, it's Bruce up at Glaucoma. Just a quick question. What's the status of the missing person? Did he turn up?
Yes, he did.
Oh, great. Did he walk out or did he get a heli lift?
He's on foot down here. Heli lift out.
Copy, thank you.
Another life saved. Another tragedy avoided by the dedicated rescue crews like Bruce and Ziggy. Up next.
You know what Ziggy is for? He's a rescue dog. Finds people in the snow. And if there's been an avalanche and somebody's buried in the snow, then Ziggy will find them.
Avalanche dogs are superheroes on the mountains, but even these real-life heroes can get hurt.
Unfortunately, I hit this dog with my ski, and he had a cut right through the back of the leg. All it was holding on the bottom of the leg was the bone and a couple of tendons. He nearly bled to death.
And later, a deadly avalanche hits a popular hiking trail near a major city, swallowing a group of hikers in its path. We'll show you the risks taken to save lives and the lessons learned along the way. The mountain can be a dangerous place for avalanche rescue dogs. There are skiers and snowboarders at every turn with razor-sharp edges right at paw level for the dogs. Snowcats moving snow, helicopters taking off, and avalanches sliding. The potential for injury is great. That's why simple obedience commands are essential for the safety of avalanche rescue dogs.
Every dog handler at some point will cut his or her dog accidentally. Unfortunately, I hit this dog with my ski, and he had a cut right through the back of the leg. All it was holding on the bottom of the leg was the bone and a couple of tendons, and one artery and one vein were still intact. He nearly bled to death right at the scene.
Ever wonder why the dogs run between the legs of their handlers? It's to protect them from the sharp edges of skis. A nick to an artery can kill a dog.
Hey, Ziggy, grab tummy. Grab tummy. Oh.
Believe it or not, this saved this dog's life. Just that I could get him to roll over on his back and lie still. Because once he got this paw nearly cut off in an accident, and I was able to get him to roll onto his back, and I could hang on to it until we could get some first aid happening. If I didn't have the control to get the dog to do exactly this, he would have bled to death.
Bruce thought Ziggy was destined for retirement.
If you look really closely, you can see a little change in his gait, but other than that, his endurance and motivation are 100%.
But after 3 months in a cast and a year of physical therapy, much like a pro athlete, Ziggy was back in business, patrolling the mountain, dazzling the kids.
You know what Ziggy is for? You know what he does? He's a rescue dog. How does he rescue people?
Ziggy sparks interest and education in avalanche awareness, especially among the little ones.
Finds people in the snow. And if there's been an avalanche and somebody's buried in the snow, then Ziggy will find them.
We take kids with us on the chairlift all the time, and when we're taking the dog up the lift, the kids are always just blown away by the dog. What's the dog for? Why do you bring the dog along?
Okay, up. Attaboy.
The dogs are always rock stars, and they know it.
Ziggy is a rock star because he saves lives and the kids idolize him.
Okay. Attaboy.
To stay in shape, Bruce and Ziggy train every day, so if there is an avalanche,
Patrol is in the solar zone, 1040.
the team can respond at a moment's notice.
Dog handlers forward.
Besides obedience training,
Left turn.
the dogs learn how to rescue people. The handlers bury human-scented clothing or an actual person in the snow.
You guys don't forget where I am, okay? is imagine you're in a friggin' avalanche in that cave and you don't have a transceiver and all of a sudden the light's coming through and all of a sudden the dog's there. How are you gonna feel? It's gonna be the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to you in your life.
But try and stay animated, and when you make a command, you bark it out.
Howley, search!
The dogs learn to drive for that scent. With hundreds of millions of scent receptors in their nose, they're able to locate avalanche victims much quicker than humans.
Oh yeah!
You're supposed to be animated, you know? And if he's not going down, you go down, you know? He'll get it.
It's gotta be a genuine feeling when you're playing with the dog. Oh my God! There's a down! Oh, woo! Okay, I want to see that.
Oh, good boy! Yeah! Woohoo! Oh, she found something. Oh, you found something. That's why you're such a good search dog.
All you have to remember in training any dog is that it's all a game, and the dog has to be motivated by knowing that it's fun. And so at the end of each training session, the dog gets a reward.
Is that a good girl? Yes!
The reward is praise for a job well done.
Good girl, yeah! Woohoo! Yeah! Oh, yeah!
And a good old tug of war with their handler. A game of hide and seek in the snow becomes the best preparation for matters of life and death.
Get him! Get him!
Up next, 6 hikers. The White Dragon barrels down the mountain, engulfing them in the blink of an eye. Seconds matter. Will they make it out in time?
Okay, here's some oxygen between his legs so we get going. Okay, Ryan, we're gonna get you out of here, bud, all right? Hang in there.
Ziggy earned his stripes that day on the mountain above Vancouver, saving 6 rescuers from certain death. If the men had searched the area instead of Ziggy, the avalanche would have swept them all away.
Very gnarly situation, the middle of the night, raging snowstorm. The area we were in was continuously avalanching, dangerous place to be in.
The decision to use a dog rather than human probers in the avalanche saved the rescuers' lives and allowed the search for the missing hikers to continue. Of the 5 missing men, 4 survived.
There's a thief! Hey!
Searchers found one man encased to his neck in snow, screaming in pain.
Can you hear me? Ryan! Ryan, can you hear me?
Both of his thigh bones had snapped. They found another unconscious, his airways choked with snow, his pelvis broken.
Here's some oxygen between his legs so we get going. Okay, Ryan.
They were all battered and bruised, but they were alive. The rescue crews continued their search for the last missing hiker. There were clues, a pack, a boot torn from a foot, an umbrella, but no sign of the hiker. Not far from the search, more avalanches released and the mountain became too dangerous. The search was called off. 4 months later, after the snowpack began to melt, 2 rescuers returned to the avalanche site. As they walked up a gully to the base of a frozen waterfall, the dog they brought along went nuts. The searchers began to dig. 4 feet down, they found the last hiker, still wearing his backpack. His hands were scraped and bloody, but there was little sign of trauma. He suffocated in the snow. The mountain had claimed another life. Yet through the tireless efforts of the rescuers, they were able to save 4 injured hikers. And for Bruce Brink, Ziggy's work that day reaffirmed his belief that avalanche dogs are the best tool we have to save buried skiers and hikers.
For me personally, it's energized me in this mountain rescue game. I've been at it a long time, and 15 or so years ago when I started with the dogs, I was nearly ready to wrap it up. I'd done a lot. It was pretty well finished, and then I had a chance to work with rescue dogs. I'm hooked again. Until I can no longer go into the mountains, I'll have a dog.
In avalanche zones, where man and mountain converge, that's an invaluable gift.
As more people in our society get out into the mountains, more people are at risk. And because more people are at risk, the societal value of what these dogs can do increases. The greatest satisfaction we could ever have in our career is to find somebody and rescue them and save their lives.